A palpable sense of hesitation is rippling through countless Indian households, a quiet pause in a long-cherished tradition. For generations, the American dream has been a powerful aspiration for our brightest students, a rite of passage symbolizing unparalleled opportunity and global success. Families have poured their life savings and hopes into sending their children to prestigious universities across the United States. However, recent developments have cast a long shadow over this once unquestioned path. The news is filled with stories of unprecedented visa delays, leaving students in a stressful state of limbo, their academic calendars and carefully laid plans thrown into disarray just weeks before they are due to fly. This uncertainty is no longer a fringe issue. It has become a mainstream dinner table conversation. The dream that once seemed so attainable now feels fraught with obstacles that are entirely out of a family's control. Beyond the bureaucratic hurdles of securing a visa, the shifting political climate in the US has introduced a new layer of anxiety. Parents and students are closely following reports about changing immigration policies and a perceived decline in the welcoming atmosphere that once defined America's appeal to international scholars. This growing unease is forcing a collective re-evaluation, a moment of profound reflection on whether the journey is still worth the immense emotional and financial investment it demands from an entire family. The stress is not merely about logistics. It cuts deep into the emotional core of our families. The journey to an American university is often the culmination of years of dedicated effort, from late-night study sessions for standardized tests to meticulously crafted application essays. To see this dream falter due to external factors like visa backlogs or political whims is profoundly disheartening. Students who have worked tirelessly find themselves questioning their choices, their confidence shaken. This period of waiting and uncertainty is taking a significant mental toll, transforming what should be an exciting new chapter into a source of immense anxiety and frustration for everyone involved. As a result, a significant number of Indian students are now actively considering alternatives, a move that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. Many are deferring their admissions, hoping the situation will improve, while others are reluctantly withdrawing their applications altogether. They are exploring high-quality educational opportunities in other countries like Canada, Australia, Germany, and even within India's own rapidly improving higher education landscape. This shift represents a monumental change in outlook, signaling that the automatic prestige of a US degree is no longer enough to outweigh the growing list of practical and emotional challenges that now stand in the way. The financial burden of an American education has always been substantial, but today it is compounded by a volatile global economy and fluctuating exchange rates. The dream of a US degree comes with a staggering price tag covering tuition, accommodation, health insurance, and living expenses that can easily run into crores of rupees over 4 years. For the average Indian middle-class family, this is not just an expense. It is a life-altering investment, often financed through hefty educational loans and the liquidation of family assets. The worry now is whether this massive financial gamble will pay off, especially when post-graduation work visa prospects like the H-1B are becoming increasingly uncertain and competitive. Beyond the numbers on a balance sheet, a more visceral fear has taken root: the safety and well-being of their children. Parents in India are increasingly alarmed by news reports detailing hate crimes and gun violence on and around American campuses. The physical distance of thousands of miles amplifies this anxiety, making every headline feel personal and threatening. They ask themselves difficult questions. Will my child be safe walking home from the library at night? Will they be accepted and respected for who they are? The sense of security that parents crave for their children feels more fragile than ever, making them second-guess sending their most precious loved ones into an environment that seems increasingly unpredictable. This concern extends to a feeling of social and cultural belonging. Will our children, raised with strong community and family values, find a supportive network in a foreign land? The narrative of the US as a welcoming melting pot is being challenged by stories of racial tensions and a polarized social environment. Parents worry that their children might face discrimination or feel isolated, struggling to adapt to a culture that can sometimes feel alienating. The dream is not just about a degree, it is about a holistic, positive life experience. The fear that their child might feel like an outsider, unwelcome and alone, is a powerful deterrent for many families. Ultimately, these interconnected worries, financial, physical, and emotional, are creating a perfect storm of doubt. The return on investment is no longer guaranteed. The promise of safety feels tenuous, and the assurance of a welcoming community is in question. Families are meticulously weighing the pros and cons, and for the first time in a long while, the scales are beginning to tip. The once blinding allure of an American education is now being viewed through a more critical and pragmatic lens, where the potential risks are being given as much, if not more, weight as the potential rewards. This climate of uncertainty has catalyzed a profound and healthy transformation in the mindset of Indian parents. The focus is slowly but surely shifting away from the blind pursuit of a foreign degree as the ultimate status symbol. The old question, which is the most famous university my child can get into, is being replaced by a far more thoughtful and child-centric one. What is truly the best path for my child's unique talents and personality? This marks a significant evolution from chasing brand names to prioritizing individual happiness, aptitude, and long-term fulfillment. Parents are beginning to recognize that success is not a one-size-fits-all formula defined by a country's prestige. This new perspective encourages parents to look inward at their own children, rather than outward at global university rankings. They are asking more nuanced questions that delve deeper into their child's future. What career will genuinely make my child happy and engaged for the next 40 years? What skills do they naturally possess, and how can we nurture them into a sustainable profession? This introspective approach is leading to a broader exploration of career paths, moving beyond the traditional trifecta of engineering, medicine, and management. Fields like design, liberal arts, data science, and sustainable development are now being considered with the seriousness they deserve. This shift is fundamentally about redefining success. Parents are realizing that a happy, well-adjusted child who is passionate about their chosen field is a far greater achievement than a stressed, unhappy one with a degree from a famous foreign institution. They are seeking a future for their children that is not only financially secure, but also emotionally and intellectually rewarding. This holistic view of a child's well-being is empowering families to make choices that are authentic to their child's identity, rather than conforming to societal pressures or outdated notions of what constitutes a successful life. It is a move towards customized life planning, not generic dream chasing. Consequently, the conversation is expanding to include a wider range of possibilities. If the US is not the right fit, what other options exist? How can we plan for a prosperous and stable future, regardless of geographical location? This pragmatic and open-minded approach is liberating for both parents and students. It removes the immense pressure to follow a single narrow path and opens up a world of opportunities, whether in Europe, Australia, or right here in India's burgeoning educational hubs. The ultimate goal is becoming clearer: to equip their child with the skills and mindset to thrive anywhere in the world. In response to this growing need for clarity, the field of career counseling in India is experiencing a renaissance, armed with modern scientific tools. Gone are the days of generic advice based on academic marks alone. Today, counselors are employing sophisticated psychometric assessments to create a comprehensive profile of each student. One of the most powerful of these is the multiple intelligence theory, which helps identify a child's inherent strengths across various intellectual domains, such as linguistic, logical, mathematical, spatial, or interpersonal intelligence. This allows for a much richer understanding of a student's natural abilities, far beyond what a report card can show. These assessments are often complemented by detailed personality tests, such as the Myers-Briggs type indicator or the Big Five, which shed light on a student's intrinsic traits, work style, and how they interact with the world. Is the student an introvert who would thrive in a research-oriented role, or an extrovert suited for a collaborative, people-facing career? Aptitude tests further refine the picture by measuring a student's potential to succeed in specific areas. When combined, these tools provide a 360-degree view of the student, forming a solid, evidence-based foundation for making one of life's most critical decisions. Encouragingly, this scientific approach to career planning is receiving strong support from educational bodies and the government. India's new education policy places a strong emphasis on vocational training and flexible skill-based learning, moving away from rote memorization. In line with this vision, many progressive schools are now integrating comprehensive career guidance programs right from the secondary level. They are partnering with professional counselors and edtech platforms to make these psychometric tools accessible to all students, ensuring that career exploration is an integral part of the curriculum, not an afterthought before board exams. This proactive approach is empowering students and their families to make decisions with newfound confidence and clarity. Instead of being swayed by fleeting trends or parental pressure, students can see objective data about their own strengths and inclinations, helping them choose a path that truly resonates with them. For parents, these reports provide a tangible framework to understand their child better and support their choices. This shift ensures that whether a student chooses to study in India or abroad, the decision is well-informed, personally aligned, and geared towards building a successful and fulfilling future, no matter where that future may unfold.